Alright, ladies and gents, so your homework here is entitled A Sort of Sorts. Really, what you're doing is you're writing down which of these graphs here have the characteristics in that are listed here on the questions, right? So look at the words, and then we're gonna look at the graphs and see which ones have those characteristics. So the first one, we identify which ones are continuous. So look at your graphs. The continuous ones are the ones that don't have the breaks. Okay, continuous ones that have all the in-between values. So if you look at A here, that one is continuous, along with C, E, G, and D. Okay, all of those don't have breaks in the graphs. Okay, that's just solid lines, so the values can take on anyone. So those are uh, the continuous ones. So you'd write all those here. That's A, C, E, G, and D. For discrete, you go over and you look for the ones that do have the breaks. Basically, the ones with the dots. That would be B, F, and H. So B, F, H are the ones here. And all the other ones would be in the continuous column. Okay, because all the graphs are either continuous or discrete. Okay, next one, we need to look for the ones that are functions. So remember, when you're looking for whether or not they're functions, you have to do the vertical line test. So do an infinite amount of vertical lines as you go across from left to right. And if it crosses more than once anywhere, it's not a function. If it's only once everywhere, it's a function. Well, all of these are functions except for B. Okay, because when you do a vertical line there, it crosses the points multiple times. Whereas all the other ones, when you do your vertical line test, it's only crossing once. Okay. So your functions would be everything except for B. So non-functions would be B. Then you got A, C, D, E, F, G, whoops, G, H. Does it go? Yeah, it just goes to H. Okay. So there you go. Number 3, when you identify the linear functions, those are the ones that are only a line. Okay, strictly line. And no changing slope or anything in between. So C matches that. H matches that. Okay, it's just a line. It happens to be discrete, but it's still a line. Okay, and those are the only two. If you look at this one, it's a line, but it's broken up. It's in two pieces. Okay, D also broken up into different pieces. When it's linear, it's only just the lines there. So that's C and H. Number 4, when you identify the functions that show vertical symmetry. So basically in all of these, just kind of draw a line down the middle, about where you could fold it over. On all of these ones, on pretty much all of them, they're not, there's no symmetry, because when you fold it over, it doesn't match up. But when you get to E, and when you get to F, you can fold each side of those on top of each other. They're a reflection. Okay, that would mean it has vertical symmetry. So, that one is just going to be E and F. Oh wait, no, yeah, E and F. Okay, let's jump over to characteristic 5. When you identify which ones show horizontal symmetry. Okay, well that one's just you do a horizontal line somewhere, and see if it doubles over. Okay, on pretty much all of these, there is no horizontal symmetry. D looks really close, but you remember, it's trying to look for a reflection. So since that one goes down like so, it would bounce back like a reflection. Sorry, like a reflection like that. Okay, so that would not be horizontal symmetry. And the only thing here that has horizontal symmetry is B, but B is not a function, and we're supposed to identify the functions. So this one, there are none. And an interesting question to think about is, are there any functions that even have horizontal symmetry? So you can think about that. We'll move on to number 6. When you identify the graphs that pass through exactly one quadrant. So if anything crosses one of these axes, it's not in just one quadrant. Well, that crosses, that crosses, that crosses. That crosses, crosses. Well, there's only one that doesn't, and that's A. Okay? So just A, whoops, is the only one that goes through exactly one quadrant. And then 7, identify the graphs that pass through all 4 quadrants. So it has to end up in each one of these quarters here. Those are the quadrants. Okay, well, A only goes through one, so that's not it. B doesn't reach the right side. C doesn't actually go into those 2 quadrants. D doesn't go into the first or third quadrant either. F doesn't go into the third or fourth quadrant. E does make it through. Okay, it's in the fourth, first, second, third. Okay, so E makes it to all of them. G also makes it to all of them. And H doesn't because it's missing quadrant 4. Okay, so we're just looking at E and G on that one. And that is it. Okay, if you really want me to list out the ones here that are continuous, it's basically just the ones I didn't list. So A, C, D, E, G. Okay, those would be the continuous ones. Alright, there you go.